right? So you're also muted, AP.
I didn't expect it, so it was unexpected, to be sure.
Did you enjoy that video, Arthur?
I did not.
It's better than the first one I did. The first one
lip syncing is not good, but it also shows me with way more expression than I usually have. There's a lot of face movement that isn't part of the APGamingREAL brand.
The eye close at the very end is like heartbreaking.
It's perfection.
Dummy. Please stop.
It's better than the first one I did, though. The first one I had to like try to take a picture of my second monitor, and it had the Mario effect all over the place, so it didn't know where your mouth was. That was horrifying.
Yeah, so you guys get off of the helicopter. You can see that the local area is like 90% men. The only women in the area appear to live in a separate nearby compound, like a adjoining compound where all of the like food preparation and laundry and domestic needs are met. So a lot of men, mostly younger men, 15 to 20-ish, running around the compound. A lot of machetes. Almost everybody has one at all times. A lot of the new style Savoil AKs or a lot of like 7.6 assault rifles. Furniture is mostly made out of crates, either like wood pallet crates with corporate logos on them, a lot of Arasaka, a lot of Savoil. Also a lot of Biotechnica crates here. Like a surprisingly huge number for a company that doesn't really make military goods. It's kind of everything you'd expect from a television stereotype rebel camp. Yeah.
Oh, is this the type of rebel camp that like points an RPG at the guy doing the documentary that's right next to him?
Yes.
Okay.
They're very serious about not being recorded, that kind of thing.
The kind of camp that like you've seen the same palette in like 1800 video games. The
So
palette asset.
at the beginning, you guys get a lot of looks, but when they see that you're with Amigo, they just kind of keep going about their business. Your accommodations are on the top floor of the building you're in. So the building may look structurally unsound, but on the inside, it has been reinforced. Almost every stairwell has been turned into a death trap for anybody coming up it. And almost all of the floors have been reinforced with sandbags. So the flooring is made out of sandbags, and there are like drainage holes where if someone threw a grenade into the room, the grenade would roll into that hole and go off rather than go off on a floor. To accommodate all the extra weight of the floor being made of lava, but the lava is sandbags, you can see that the interior structural supports have been heavily reinforced with a secondary titanium system. It kind of looks like a World War I field manual. Like it walked right out of something on tarnished yellow paper.
It's probably fairly familiar to Coltan though in South America.
Yes, you fought in the South American Wars. Yeah. This is a little bit more extreme and orderly than what you saw down there, but the large number of Savoil emblems perfectly at home for you. They were the enemy. You probably took camps like this and killed men like this on a regular basis down there.
I probably took many of their limbs and organs. That was my job after all.
So Amigo is like, yes, these are the guest quarters. They're the best in the whole camp. I will arrange for you all to get a good meal.
Cool.
Thank you.
Do you have any dietary preferences? We are making the locals call it Muslim curry.
It should be fine. I don't think any of us have any problems.
Very well. You notice Marcus Bishop just go stand in a corner, look in the corner, and say something like, "My, what rustic architecture! I should further examine the structural supports."
Idle Animation 5.
Yeah, that's what he says out loud.
Yeah.
He starts
He
singing
looks and he's
"Dame
watching-
Dame."
Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of this camp, Arthur, we came in by helicopter, yes. So, how far is it? Like, what's the radius of this camp, roughly?
That's a great question. Probably several kilometers to allow for training fields and like a jogging track. But it is set within the jungle so that it would be difficult to see anywhere except from up above.
So I'm gonna ask our pilot friend. So what is your cause? What are you fighting?
He's like, I'm friends with these people. What they fight for, they want religious rights, a return to the older times. They also want goods. You know, people don't get luxuries out here. I mean, he just gestures, and you know, their furniture is made out of crates, and they carry guns for a living, right? The food is not so good. All of the money is corrupt. It is flowing into President Tony's pockets. Do you see roads outside? Do you see religious freedoms? President Tony is a dictator, and while he's good for business, he's bad for the kind of business that is good for the people of the Philippines. And just to be clear, I am friends with these people, but I am not one of them. They tolerate me because I do things for them for money.
I mean, to be honest, it doesn't seem much different than Redline. Really crappy furniture, bad food, corrupt governments.
It is the cyberpunk future of the 2020s. Everything is the same everywhere, my friend.
We live in a society.
Oh my god, that's definitely not what he says.
Yeah. Well, I guess if there's like nothing they really need us for, let's get some shut eye.
I mean, unless you want to seek them out or offer advice to a communist Muslim rebel group, and
Not
you can do it without pissing off any of those adjectives.
I mean, or
They
just
want
leaving in the morning.
they want advice on how to destabilize a country from the inside out. Maybe I could help them.
They would use that advice as long as your advice was not bad.
I mean, as long as they don't.
I personally don't know, but my character might have some insight to that stuff.
Sure.
So,
You want to do that scene where you go meet with the leader?
yeah, I'll go have a chat with him about some stuff like that. I mean, like, I don't know what type of shit we're going to get into when it push comes to shove. You know. Also, I have a suspicion that we're going to have to potentially get out of this country at one point as well. So.
And the person that Glimo
Nah, you just live here now, bro.
The person that Glimo was asked to kill was not President Tony. It was some other
Correct.
It
is not
was
President
gang.
Tony.
the shadow
Dad.
leader of the government, whose name is
Ball Madal.
Ferdinand. No, that's not the right one. Ferdinand
Dame.
Remo Bira Cabrera. He was the
that's
head
close.
of the Filipino mafia, the boss of bosses.
These guys aren't mafia, clearly, right?
Yes, they are definitely 100% not mafia in any way.
Okay, just checking.
These are the people that the mafia is made up of the people who weren't cool enough to get into this gang.
Oh,
really?
shit! So the mafia is like small time compared to these guys.
No, the mafia is made up of a lot of small-time petty gangsters who do really serious crimes for a very bad man. These people here fight for something and they believe in something, which is better than you can say in the Filipino mafia. Just to be clear, any Filipino mafia people, this is a fictional Filipino mafia that takes place in an alternative world, and I don't like neckties. prefer my shoes be made out of whatever Nike makes their shoes out of.
Cow skin.
Shoe stuff. I don't know what shoes are made out of. Fabric, I guess.
We need to mine more shumium.
Oh my god, what a sci-fi plot. It's the most comfortable mineral in all of existence, and it only exists on one planet. The galactic economy uses that particular mineral, which makes the most comfortable shoes for all races, as the center point of galactic currency.
There was
the shumium controls the universe.
Yes, exactly.
There was some sort of TV show that only lasted 3 episodes. It came out like a good 10 years ago. I think it was called like R&D or something like that. It was a comedy show. And in the show, what they would do is they would test products and then try and find a use for them, sort of thing, right? So it was like a scripted show sort of thing, like Scrubs or whatever, right? And in the first episode, they got this fabric and they thought, oh, sweet, you know, this would be great for making like Kevlar vests or whatever out of it. But no, it the drawbacks of it was that it was like very, very itchy and very, very taut. So they're like, oh, what applications can we have this? And the guy's like, oh, I've got it. We'll make office chairs out of it so that people, when they sit on the chairs, they're not comfortable and they focus on their work.
What
it was a really good show. Yeah,
that's how Herman Miller was born.
James is probably watching us on his phone right now.
I was just noticing that
while talking to someone. Yeah. Perfect. Hey, what's up, roof repair guy?
Hey, what's up, roof repair guy? Hey, you got some holes to fix. Sounds fun.
All right, so Wolfgang, you end up in a meeting several minutes later with a very busy man who's got like a silver platter tray of like not well taken care of silver, a water pitcher, and several glasses, and he invites you and anybody else that you bring with you to sit across from him on like floor mattress pads.
Okay. I don't know who else would be interested in going. I mean,
he's a plumber, apparently. What's up, plumber?
Pascal specifically doesn't go because he's afraid that his tattoos might draw the wrong sort of attention.
Yes, also Pascal has a long history of making people upset. He's definitely... Pascal is the bandito of this universe.
I was just say the same thing.
So can I diagnose which idle animation Marcus is in?
He's in the creepy he's in the Blair Witch animation.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm not staying in that room. I'll go with
He's doing the Fortnite.
I'll go with Wolfgang.
He's doing the Fortnite default dance.
Yeah.
No.
Just slowly nodding. Someone's trying to get in.
He's in the Gwent loading screen. Yeah.
All right. Heavy Metal Madman, thanks for that sub. Speaking of subs, let's talk about this meeting. So this man says in not very good English, do you prefer water or tea?
Water's fine.
Okay. He pours 2 glasses of water out for the 2 of you and then pours one for himself and takes a sip from it to show you that it's okay.
Glug glug.
It's warm and it tastes local. Not artisanally filtered. I hear you are looking to speak with me in order to tell me about... You have a plan to help us defeat Presidente Tony.
Oh, it's not necessarily a plan, but I personally have a large amount of experience in destabilizing countries for profit and gain. I figured since you're helping us by allowing us to stay in your compound, it's the least I could do and pass on some of my knowledge.
Okay. He says, gosh, there probably is like a Muslim proverb in the Quran about like looking a gift horse in the mouth. He says something like that, like, what gifts have brought you here to my doorstep that you are the exact thing that we might need? What makes you think you have the knowledge that we seek?
I specialize in finding and destabilizing information about conglomerates that generally help to topple regimes and switch out the power that runs at the top of these corporations.
So he nods and he says, yes, like Killmonger from the American Marvel comic books.
I'm sorry?
Don't worry about it. I just like reading things with pictures.
I see. And then I begin to start telling him about how to hit the government where it hurts and what to do to make sure that the things that they're attacking or the things that they try and bring down will eventually hurt the government in such a way that they're forced to make.
I don't know if y'all have heard about this, but there's a thing called gerrymandering.
I don't think President Tony needs to be gerrymandered against, because he probably has that.
I doubt this is voting territory.
It says it's democratic. So the difficulty in this role is not that you don't know how to do what you're saying, it's that you need to phrase it and also shape your plan to account for the fact that there are things they will and won't do. They have their own code as both communists and Muslims and rebels of targets they will and won't hit, actions they will and won't take. So that is what's setting the difficulty of this role, which will be a 20. And it will be your job skill, which I think is called Covert Operations.
It's called Combat Sneak. But, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Need to hit a 20.
Yep.
Does the primary skill use like a basic?
It does. All of them do. I just don't know what your particular one is. Okay.
An 8, so it's probably intelligence. Yeah. So that makes sense.
Yeah. You walk him through a course on low intensity terrorism, where you hit things that will destabilize the government, like taking out embarrassing targets, like hitting sewage treatment plants or a particularly well-used bridge that isn't going to totally cut off traffic, but it's going to piss off everybody and make things a lot harder for government vehicles. Hitting like power relay stations, so you don't knock out the power for everybody, but you knock out the power for the government district.
Yeah, the idea is you want to destabilize the government enough, but also not make the lives of the people that live here.
Right. You don't want to make the people angry at you. You want to take actions that will make people angry at the government, and generally tie up government resources, tracking down a lot of small attacks. Okay. Yeah, you explain it to him, and so while you're talking, every few minutes he asks you to stop, and then brings more and more people into this room until the room is filled with men wearing uniforms that have like a general, like 4 colonels, like 20 majors. Like, you think the entire officer corps might be crammed into this one room by the time you finish speaking. People are taking notes. And they're not like, oh man, we never would have thought of this, but they're like, oh, this is a new point of view. We didn't consider that we could do things like this. The leader goes, oh yeah, they definitely have a rainbow metal chest of campaign operations that they've performed. And then the leader says, enough. Your name, Wolfgang Roth?
I don't know if I would have used my actual
What name do you use with him?
I probably just would have used...
The mysterious stranger just blew into town.
What did I... It was like... Oh, what did I use last time? It was like Jimmy Goldsmith or something?
Jimmy Juice Pointers?
No.
No, it's like Gold something. I was going to say Roy Montana.
Jimmy Gold was your
Gold,
old Arasaka cover, yes.
Yeah, Jimmy Gold, yeah. That's what I would use, yeah.
Yes, James. Yes, I did just give a course about low-intensity urban terrorism on Twitch. What's even scarier is that I learned how to do that about 15 years ago. That knowledge is open and public as long as you're willing to look for something like that, or you attend a course in something where they cover it and you're like, wow,
Yeah,
that's scary.
AP's definitely on a couple of lists from this episode, I think.
From that book that we all bought when we were, teenagers.
I didn't buy that book. Don't even say its fucking name. Do not.
That's why I called it the book.
I've never read it, and don't even say its name.
It's funny that we all know.
Oh, you
what
mean the
book is.
Bible?
Oh, come on now, Dave. All right. So you address yourself as Jimmy Gold, and he says, "We will make a statue in a small plaza in your honor, Jimmy Gold, when this plan succeeds. With this, we can finally defeat Sov Oil and overthrow the corporate masters, and we will take President Tony and remove his genitals and burn his intestines and then drag him throughout the public areas, and then the people will be free again."
Okay. Well, I'm glad I could help. Listen, there's a good chance that activities here in this region might require some assistance in the future for leaving the country. Do you have any way of smuggling people out that we might be able to use in the future?
Yeah, so several of the guys explain that they're not really a smuggling out kind of organization. They're more of a smuggling in weapons kind of organization.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I figured I would ask.
Yeah. So they don't really make money. They kind of take donations from whoever will give them things.
Oh, perhaps they might know someone that can help us get out, maybe, or something. I mean, it's not set in stone that this is something that we have to.
All right. So they agree that they will shelter you and help you as best they can if you are in need of trouble.
Okay, that's more than enough.
What if we needed to steal President Tony's spaceship?
President Tony does not have a spaceship.
Okay, fine.
President Tony's cryo chamber for when he cuts off his own head and puts a brain in a jar like Walt Disney.
That does not work. That's fairy tales.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
They indicate to you that they need to begin their prayers. The Isha.
There was a guy I knew at medical school, Matt Groening.
Okay.
He was really into the idea of heads in jars.
I don't think Matt Groening went to medical school.
No, he went to the future.
Okay. So yeah, they're basically asking you to clear out of the room so they can prepare for a prayer service.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys go back up and you're just looking at Pascal staring at Bishop staring at a wall. A corner specifically, reinforced with titanium struts.
They're both mumbling about like insulation and.
I don't know what Pascal's mumbling about, but I think that Bishop is looking at his phone and looking up the origin of the word shrimp, the etymology.
Wow, you're just nailing every loose nail in your house right now, Arthur. You're just banging it.
I know.
Boom.
He's also looking up the entomology of shrimps.
Because they're underwater insects.
Sometimes I include jokes like that, and I'm not sure anybody's ever going to understand the difference.
I was waiting for the cinnamon toast joke.
Oh, please. It's so weird. He's married to the Boy Meets World actress who played Topanga. Like, what are the odds?
What?
Yeah, that's part of the story, man.
Jeez.
Fucking weird.
Oh, you know the Jennifer Garner movie where she turns from a 14-year-old girl into a 30-year-old woman?
Yeah.
No.
13 going on 30 or whatever.
13 going on 30 or whatever it is, yeah. So the girl that was in that movie is now 30, and she looks exactly like fucking Jennifer Garner.
Damn.
Sounds like the casting director did a pretty good job. Isn't that a Tom Hanks movie where he's like a kid and then he something about a carnival?
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of those types of movies.
Big, the one you're thinking of.
Oh yeah, big.
Sure. That sounds right.
The one where it's like a kid stuck in a adult's body, and he's like something about a toy store or a toy company.
You might be thinking of Richie Rich.
No.
Home Alone 2.
The one
Dude,
with
Home Alone 2 was great.
the one with Donald J. Trump, WWE champion, in it.
Oh,
Yes.
jeez. Didn't they remove him from the cut?
I don't know.
No.
There's
I
like
don't
any
care.
streaming version.
That
of
would
that
be
movie
really
does
tough
not
to
have him in there.
do, considering there's like a whole part of the story around it.
Yeah, I think
No,
on any
he-
streaming service, that part of the movie is cut out now.
I don't know.
Really? I see it all the time. Every Christmas. Wife is watch it.
Grimdarkjames.
I'm back.
25
it.
minutes.
Did you find the Shumium?
No, but I'm now $3,000 lighter. So
Wow,
Oh shit!
that's rough.
The plumber found the Shumium. Then.
It was in your pipes, apparently.
There's your problem. You got money everywhere.
You got-
yeah, let me handle that
Got a
for you.
Shumium back up here. Gotta take some money to clear that out. All right, so at some point, Bishop looks up from his phone, having looked up the etymology and entomology of shrimps.
Fascinating stuff.
You feel
oh, yeah,
Bishop in on-
I don't think I wasn't present for the conversation. I don't think with Wolfgang and the boss.
Correct.
I would have just tried to lay low here.
Yeah, you were on idle animations in the room.
Keep to myself.
You know, you got that smoking joint from like Metal Gear Solid 5 where he like smokes for 19 hours straight. He's just like,
That fucking music, man, it haunts my dreams.
when you think about that, like literally, it's not time travel. It's just literally him smoking weed for 19 hours straight.
I thought it was like LSD or something.
Oh no, it's something weird like that. Like it is like some sort of drug that he takes. But shit, dude, man. When I like work that out in my mind, it's not just him chilling for 19 hours. It's like no, it's him just like sucking on an e-cig for 19 hours.
It's way worse when you consider that you can get in the back of trucks and they'll like drive you around bases and stuff. And if you stop at specific times, you'll be like, there'll be someone unloading the truck and be like, "Hey, did you just stop time and you just I'm fucking unloading this truck?"
Oh man, that game. I'm gonna play that again eventually, but anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 1 4K 60 FPS remake. Go.
Yeah. I mean, they did it on GOG already, so like they're not far off
man.
from it. So.
Unrelated, but earlier today, Parasite Eve was trending on Twitter, and I thought of you, AP.
Oh boy, I would fucking love a Parasite Eve remake. Holy shit.
That's what everyone.
That was a game.
That's what everyone in the trending thing thought too, but it was just a person that's like 4 pictures and like which one deserves an awesome reboot. And it's obviously Parasite Eve is in there. So
I need to look this up. I mean, it sounds familiar. I just
Oh
can't
my
think of
god,
it.
Parasite Eve was incredible, Dave. Parasite Eve is the Metal Gear Solid game of gun customization.
apparently, what's that game that it was a recent game that's apparently a spiritual successor and has references to Parasite Eve?
Parasite Eve 2.
No.
In Parasite Eve 2, you can get a shotgun gunblade from Final Fantasy VIII. It's incredible.
Days Gone. No, never mind. That was
Days
something else.
Gone.
No, Days Gone was a spiritual successor to like Siphon Project or something like that.
Siphon Filter?
Siphon Filter, yeah.
Oh, Siphon Filter. Wow, there's another callback.
That's like a spiritual successor and references to Siphon Filter. My bad.
Listen, Parasite
Oh,
Eve
God.
is what happens when you let people who normally write Final Fantasy games write a modern day thriller about unlocking supernatural powers through blood set in New York City with like a cop And then as you go through the game and you replay it, you unlock extra levels and like an extra hard dungeon tower. And at some point, you can like take gun parts and move them between guns. So I had an SMG that fired shotgun shells.
Is that a Nomura game?
The length,
The guy who does Nier?
I don't know. But it was
I
a
feel like I've been
shotgun
sucking on that
SMG
e-cig.
sniper rifle. You could shoot across the whole stage with it. Also, it set people on fire. It was great. It's a good gun. Carried me through 20 playthroughs. All right, Dave, calm down. Is there anything else you all want to do before the morning comes and you leave this resistance camp?
I was going to mention some stuff, but I remembered that these people probably don't like drugs, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
You're correct. They don't like drugs.
Yeah.
Everyone here is a clean, healthy young man who doesn't do any drugs except what they tell them to do, and also spends a lot of time in religious contemplation and doing like 9 to 10 hours of physical labor every day.
I'm not going to tell them about the 19-hour cigarette. Okay.
Okay, that would be a good plan.
I'm watching the intro to Parasite Eve, dude. It's kind of awesome.
Parasite Eve is incredible. It'll change your life. It's so good. Parasite Eve 2, less good. Less good. James, save me here. Anything you heard everything that happened. Anything else you want to do?
No, I'm fine. I just came here to sleep. That's what I'm here to do.
Pascal?
Yeah, Tetsuya Nomura. I knew it. I just looked it up. He's also the guy behind Nier and the most recent Kingdom Hearts and also Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yep.
Parasite Eve was incredible.
It sounds like a crazy Nomura storyline.
Man, if we could get a FF7R version of Parasite Eve with the expanded storyline from 2 written into it.
That's what people in the Twitter thread were saying.
Chrysler Building. That's all I'm saying. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't.
Set it in Nakatomi Plaza, and then all of a sudden it's amazing.
Okay. Well, for one thing, Parasite Eve takes place in New York City, so. All right. You wake up the next morning. You have a very clean and healthy breakfast of rice and beans, and it's layered over with a beef gravy.
Hell yeah.
It has extremely minimal seasoning. Tastes very bland.
Everything in the Philippines is hot, I thought. Everything's got chili in it.
Not this. Very mild.
Chili rice. The rice has like...
What am I,
chili
Jamie
center.
Oliver?
No, the rice has chili in the center. Every single grain has like a hot core.
Oh my god.
So if you just swallow without chewing, then you won't actually experience it.
Yeah.
Until
you'll just
your
experience it
stomach
later.
dissolve it.
Yeah, a little later.
Okay, Jesus. You eat an extremely bland MRE based military breakfast delivered to you, and your helicopter pilot has refueled and is ready to take you home or continue your scouting mission as you prefer, or even just take you on like a Bahama Mama cruise of the local area. You know, see the sights, see the local dolphin and whale population, get a jet ski.
I mean, I think we need to talk about our plans, and doing that over like headset comms in a helicopter probably not the most convenient thing to do. So maybe just go back to the mainland and go back to our hotel and talk about what we want to do next.
Okay. You spend the whole day in flight back
do
there.
we want to scout? Do we want to scout the town before we leave, since we're already here?
I don't mind.
Okay.
If it's like pre-gen or pre whatever you said,
PharmaCon
Gamescom.
2021.
pre-Gamescom, whatever, then I guess we could get around.
So your friends will have each of you ride on the back of an ATV with one of their militants. And when you're ready, you just come back to their rendezvous area and the militants will drive you home. So they drive you like 10 miles into the city and then leave you off at like someone's backyard. There's a couple of billfolds that exchange the local currency and like a wink and a nod, and you're free to move about the town. You definitely look like tourists with armor and guns if you brought your armor and guns.
I don't think I would have.
If it's scouting, I won't bring my guns, but I don't know if I brought a change of clothes.
I don't have my armor, but I've got a pistol.
Although a lot of my armor is subdermal, so it wouldn't be as noticeable.
Yeah, I just have a concealed pistol in the jacket. That's it.
Okay. And most of you are pretty good. As the others of you may stand out slightly.
I'm very Caucasian.
Oh, actually, all my armors, it's just biker leathers and a Kevlar t-shirt. Yeah, I've got.
You absolutely stand out.
Yo, motherfucker, that'd be hot as shit over here.
Okay.
Am I
Yeah, okay.
am I the only person I can see with like a metal appendage that's obviously a fake, like a metal arm?
You're not the only person here who has a prosthesis, but you might be the only one with a cyberware one.
Okay.
I think you probably see a couple of other people who definitely are your age or slightly older, who all seem to have been veterans of some sort of corporate war, and they got like bogus cyberware that doesn't work so well. You're a cyberware kind of expert. You spent some time with Pascal, so you can spot that the cyberware that's around town is all like 8 to 10 years old.
Okay, so I don't stick out like a sore thumb, but it's like,
yeah, I mean,
possible.
you look kind of like a Vietnam War veteran to them, right? Like, you're from an older conflict. Your cyberware. Well, your new cyberware is actually pretty new, right? You just got it.
well, I don't have that with me because you told us not to bring anything that we don't.
Okay, then yeah, you just kind of look, except for your ethnicity and general demeanor and clothing, other than that, you look like you could fit in around here cyberware wise.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, if we're going by the art, I've got more melanin in my skin than the other party members.
The Filipinos here are much darker than you.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people just sitting outside, watching things, drinking something, even though it's mid-morning. There's really not a lot going on in the town. There are several people who seem to be like the real movers and shakers and people who do stuff in like the residential area, who seem to be trying to organize people to get ready for the upcoming PharmaCon and all of its resident festivities. But it's only when you get to the more commercial district of town that's more facing the base, where it seems like people here actually work, and there's a lot going on. People are trying to sell you stuff. There's a scattering of English, but mostly they speak street language to you, because it's a very popular one.
Pascal,
Yes.
it might be worth trying to find out from the people here whether the services people, the cleaners, the repair people that work at the facility, whether they're all direct employees or whether they live and work in town and they are just contractors. You know, we have a potential other way in, would be potentially through custodial services.
Okay. Do I
When
need
you
to
speak the
roll
language.
to find that out?
Yes,
AP,
you do need to roll to find that out. How would you like to go about it?
What? I would say I speak the language, and I've got some contacts in this part of the world.
You're street dealing?
I guess street deals probably.
It's going to
the
cost
easiest.
money then.
Okay.
All right. How much are you willing to put towards this to get the kind of knowledge you're looking for?
I'll say 200.
Okay. All right. Make a street deal of 18.
$19.
Okay. So you spread a little bit of cash around with some locals. You know the language. You fit in here more or less. Your tattoos get you a lot more access than anything else. With a little bit of cold, hard Euro cash, you learn that most of custodial services is done by the corporation itself. but they specifically outsource their laundry and uniform detailing. And there's like 2 daily in and outs that go either to the barracks in town or to the main facility. So in the morning, they go to the barracks to pick up people's dirty clothes, and at the night, they go to the main base to drop off clean clothes, so that people have a fresh work uniform to put on when they go to work.
Okay, and is it a local company that does this, or is this a
Company
corporate?
would be a really strong word. It's like a collective of local men and women, mostly women. Corporate structure in this part of the world is not what it would be. It's more like an agreement between a mega corporation and the local populace.
Okay.
It gets done. There are some people in charge. The town mayor's grandmother is essentially in charge of this particular operation. I mean, with your money there, you could get a meeting with her if you wanted, or you could attempt to infiltrate it in other ways.
So I relay this information to the team and ask if they are interested in pursuing this further, or if they just wanted or if we're not going to go down this road.
I think we know this is an option, so we can talk about what our actual plan is and include this when we're working out what we can or can't do.
Okay.
Do we want to have the planning scene at an outdoor cafe over some tea?
Sure.
I'd rather go straight to the heist and then like flash back to the planning scene as we compensate for every single thing that goes wrong in our plan.
Have you read the Leverage RPG, James?
I have.
Okay. I wouldn't mind doing it that way, but well, also Blades in the Dark does it.
I was joking.
That's fine.
It's like
It's like getting it's a Destiny die from Star Wars. You're like, well, actually, I had a 9mm hidden in a tube.
Was it Ant-Man that was like, no, that's not how it happened.
Yes,
I'll tell you how it happened.
exactly.
Yeah.
Man, those movies are underrated for sure.
Well, I didn't think the second one was as good, but the first Ant-Man movie is a little bit different than all the other Marvel movies.
If I ever get a role-playing session narrated by Luis, I'll feel like I made it anyway. So that's all right.
So I know a guy.
My favorite one is when like like the really straight played characters are just like, yo, I know I'm hot and all that stuff, and that doesn't matter so much because what really went down is what happened here. God,
the lip sync is so good.
Yeah, you know me, I'm more of a neo-cubist guy, right? When he's at the art gallery. They're doing this really cool impressionist piece. You know me, I'm more of a neo-cubist guy. Luis.
Okay.
Anyway.
So do you want to do the plan here? Or are you going back to the hotel, flying home, cruise over?
Well, I think you need to get your photos developed, right?
Oh, this is the future of the 21st century, sir. Did you know that after 3 to 5 minutes, they will print out and
shake it like a Polaroid picture?
Shake it. He said he got a Polaroid, man.
Andre 3000 is totally a Cyberpunk Rocket Boy name.
So we need to do the thing where we put it up on the board and then we like have like selection boxes and stuff.
Okay,
like that.
then yes, you
and
fly
then we hire
home.
the cheap team. We hire the cheap team and we lose like $35,000 when the guy crashes his motorcycle.
Did
in the
we
sewer,
just go to GTA?
But no, that's not how it happened.
Why do we
This
keep
is how it
switching genres?
Yeah.
Zeus comes down and he's all like, "Oh man, listen, let me tell you how it really went down."
Oh yeah, that's right. I did this in Rogue Trader. That's true. This is ample punishment for what I did there.
It's easy to tell what Arthur's.
If Arthur's anything, if anything, it's Arthur is known for punishing people that have played in his games before when he plays in their games, because he did the exact same shit to me.
I
What
don't punish
if
my
I make-
game masters.
What if I make a character, Dave, that does absolutely nothing except ruin the narrative completely by just
Dave,
deviating constantly?
I never try to punish my game masters. The people I'm trying to punish are the audience. Nero is a character who is really good at one thing, just like Dante was good at one thing, and it's otherwise a walking nightmare of all the things I've ever seen players do.
Why be generalist when you can spike in one direction so hard that nothing else matters?
I spent all my skill points in fourth wall break.
Yeah, that's me for sure. Look, when all you can do is shoot with 110% accuracy, every problem is shootable. Not seem shootable, is shootable.
Well,
Listen, James, I don't have this skill that allows me to talk to this woman, but I do have the skill that lets me shoot this woman. So can I do that and then get the same results?
Sorry to go off on a tangent here, but I've been running a Numenera game which has one session left, and Numenera is a game where you make up your own skill names. Like there's no fixed skill list.
Yeah.
And one of my players said to me at the last session when she was spending her XP, I want to buy a skill, and all your NPCs have these really stupidly convoluted motivations. Can I just get like a skill to like hit sense into them, like beat sense into your NPCs? I'm like, you know what? It's the second last session, sure. So the second last session, she did literally like run up to one of the key villains of the entire narrative and beat them until they agree with her, pretty much.
The skill is called Third Wall.
Yeah, the skill is called Common Sense, and I'll let you do it if you have 3 dots in it.
Yeah.
What is this? Vampire the Masquerade?
I love that reference so much, by the way. The fact that there's just like a really expensive skill in Vampire the Masquerade just called Common Sense.
All right. So you all, we get the loading screen. You're back in your nice Presidente Tony suite. It's night of the same day. And there's a business card on the table for Amigo if you need to contact him again.
Okay. Did I get any sort of contact with the
They don't exactly hand out phone numbers.
No, I get that. Maybe they have like a burner or something, maybe.
You can contact Amigo to contact them.
All right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
All right.
So let's put some pins on this board about how we're breaking this down.
Did we get Hines in here to see what he knows
Well,
about
it's interesting you mentioned Heinz because your particular bedroom is literally filled by a wall of Heinz ketchup bottles. When you open the door, it knocks them over, and the whole, just a fucking tower of them falls everywhere, all over the bed, all over your clothes, anything you've left out, just full but closed, still with the plastic seal on them. Heinz ketchup bottles everywhere.
I'll call room service.
Hundreds of them.
If you had said to me, Arthur, empty Heinz ketchup bottles, I would have been like, man, that's impressive. All right, there's some dedication there.
But I'm going to call room service.
Okay, room service comes to clean it up.
No, I'm going to give them like 50 eddies each to put them back in his room.
Okay.
50 eddies. Wow.
They look at each other, and I need you to make a roll to see if your friendliness can defeat their fear of him.
What's the roll?
Fast talk and persuasion, I think. Or I would allow social.
This is exactly, I know what this is. This is Spider-Man pranking Happy in the Marvel universe. This is what this is.
Is this based on cool? Because that's not going to go well for me.
Which one would you like to perform? Social or fast talking?
I have neither.
Okay, so they're both empathy.
Empathy I can do.
Good. You need to hit an 18.
Dumping all my luck in.
He says pranking this man.
They take your money and they indicate to you that they're going to do as you say, and they leave with all the ketchup bottles 20 minutes later.
Great.
You feel so smugly sure that your prank is going to be amazing.
It's not going to work. I rolled low.
Yes, but you don't know that. They lie to your face and you don't realize it.
I have a deep-seated distrust of everyone, so I just assume that they're not going to do
it. That's true.
Okay, so let's put a pin in all this stuff then, yeah. Maybe we'll get a couple of options set up and then we'll invite Heinz over to discuss. Maybe. I guess. I think that's probably the best way of doing things.
I agree. Let's
All right, so option 1, we go in as the appointed Militech security force. We don't know much about this option because, they haven't told us shit, but I assume we get military uniforms or Militech uniforms. They probably won't give us any guns, but we have our own stuff, so we could probably pick some military stuff out of that. And I guess we attempt to find our target once we're inside. That's about the much I know about it. We could potentially leave some sort of vehicle nearby for escaping if necessary, and potentially hide out with our new friends.
I think that is the play, but both the pharmaceutical convention and the laundry people are just for more information.
Yeah. So play number 2, pharmaceutical. There's a good chance that this person will be speaking potentially at this event.
Well, what kind of event was this, Arthur? It was like medical based, right?
Yeah, it's a pharmacy convention.
So
it's
what's the chances of this person
specifically
being there?
is being held here because it's like the future of oceanic, like a previously undiscovered plants from the deep ocean and how they can change the pharmacology away.
So it's like a mix of engineering and other things too.
I mean, I feel like Coltan's been to these before. It's mostly going to be one person really excited to present a paper that's very technical sounding.
And a lot of marketing, probably.
Yeah, and like the rest of it is going to be sales reps handing out pens and trying to entice doctors to use their specific product.
When
it's
Elon
gonna be
Musk brought out the Cybertruck and then threw a ball bearing through its window? There we go. That's the
headliner.
It's going to be a lot of, what would be best for your company? More OTech products. You know what? We're going to send you home with an OTech shovel, an OTech pillow. Here's an OTech blanket. Here's a calendar with OTech on it to remind you every time you look at the date of who your best friends are and who you should buy drugs from.
Also a stress ball in there too.
I hate that you give me all my secrets, Arthur.
That's the presentation to run the 180 million.
Just Grimdarkjames' face on a blanket, staring up at your ceiling every night.
So,
staring up at your Grimdarkjames.
Look, I'm sorry. I've only been to a few
tiles.
engineering conferences, and this is how they go. So I can only assume that there are a lot of fucking margaritas at the doctors' conferences, and they go pretty much the same way.
Look, the gaming conventions are exactly the same. Like the business ones.
The gaming conventions cater to a very different professional cast than doctors and engineers. But yes,
the business ones, I mean, specifically.
Yes,
so.
I expect that they are mostly revolving around one person very excited to present something and a lot of corporate bullshit.
A lot of people like being like, hey man, you know what would be really good for your game?
If you use my engine, it's like the Unity engine, but I hand programmed it.
No. There's no engines. It's mostly just like third-party add-ons that will do things for you.
Do you need trees and don't need a percentage of your income? Speed tree.
How about give us 40% and you can paint a tree that has leaves into your game?
Damn.
Amazing.
So Arthur, you said there was an AV on this place, yeah?
There is a medical AV. So it's certainly not the only AV that's present, since AV really just means flying car, and several people are definitely rich enough to have them. But there is a dedicated, like, medical station AV. It also appeared to be submersible.
Okay, great, because I have pilot AV.
You're going to steal an ambulance. I like this plan so
why
far.
not? Why not? I mean, we've got medical people on board. Like, there's a good chance that we could do that.
What's the chance of this dude being there? Because he's in engineering, right? Is this like all hands on
He
deck
is
OTEC?
a logistician.
Is this an all hands on deck OTEC convention kind of thing? Or is there a chance that he's not even going to be there?
You don't know that much.
Okay. Because if there's a chance he's going to be there, that might be a way to hit him. If not, it's just an information gathering.
It seems like you have a much better than normal probability that he will in fact be there or pass through it, at least for the festivities at some point.
Is there a way that we can verify whether or not he's going to be there by like some itinerary or something like that?
Not from this hotel room.
Is he a speaker? Is there like a brochure?
I don't know the guy's name.
Ooh, that is a good one. He's a guest of honor.
Okay, so he will be there. All right, it's interesting.
Or he's supposed to be there, just depending on if he actually gets.
So guest of honor makes it really difficult for us to potentially pull him out of that.
But between here and there is a better option because it's a city away.
Well, we don't know if he stays in the city. Someone like him probably doesn't stay in the city. He probably has quarters on the base.
Yeah, exactly. But the convention is a city away. We can grab him in transit.
Is it?
Isn't it like just next to it? Like, isn't the city?
I thought it was like
the city is directly. The base essentially leads directly out into the city. They're one and the same.
I thought they were like
there is a like workers' dormitory for the corporates in the city.
Oh, okay.
Which is where the laundry is picked up from.
I see. Okay, well, why don't we try? I mean, the other thing is too, like, I am probably the least likely person to be able to fit into any sort of custodian role in this particular group. Bishop, I'm pretty sure you're in the same boat as me. You're pretty Caucasian as well, right?
Yeah.
You guys could take up the Medtech cover.
So you guys want to do? So we got like a doctor cover, we got a two Medtech covers, and we got what, the janitorial stuff in Glimo.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, man.
I mean, it would be really interesting to get like additional, like if he does in fact sleep in the quarters, right? Potentially there is additional things that we can get of his and bring with us as well, like laptops, that sort of stuff. I don't know how you have electronic security, right, Glimo?
Yes.
Your character does? Yeah.
Okay.
So the chances of you being able to just be like, yeah, I'm just going in there to clean this guy's room and just take his fucking shit for whatever reason might be worthwhile doing. I don't know.
2 ranks of electronic security.
Oh, so okay.
And a 9 tech.
Okay. Yeah, all right. That's not so bad.
So
It's not so bad. However, none of that stuff happens at the same time, right? When was the security intro? It's like a day before, right?
So tomorrow is when you're supposed to present a plan, or at least say, hey, we've scouted the local area to Arnulf. And it seems like the operation is negotiable to some extent with him. You're not really sure where you stand because, of course, you used to be a top operative, but now you just kind of called into work to have them kill a guy for you. Okay, well, they didn't kill him, but they killed his career and ejected him from the company and severed his severance package and ruined his entire life. for you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
You're an outside contractor now. So what's going to happen next? You actually have no idea. You've never been in this
received
situation.
a manila envelope.
Mm-hmm. So I think we should probably just present what we have right now to the guy and see where it lands us.
Yeah, without additional information about what he prepared, like there's not much further we can go.
I'm going to make a suggestion that when we do this meeting, that Coltan, you stay elsewhere.
I do have an errand to run. I have a room to fill with ketchup.
Maybe do that.
Great.
His errand to run, though, is pissing off this guy even further. So I'm not sure that's the answer for us. Okay. So, yeah, I guess we'll call him over.
Okay. On-off is at the room several minutes later. He's wearing what I'm going to call executive pajamas. It looks like they've maybe been worn once before. They are almost perfectly hospital corners crisp. Silk, kind of like a gauzy light blue, diamond studded cufflinks at the cufflinks area.
So it's basically a leisure suit, but it's made out of silk.
Yes,
right.
It's got
turtleneck pajamas.
It's got the pocket with the Arasaka logo emblazoned on it, and then like the personal house crest of his house Schmid on the back. Yeah, he just like slides his car into your
It's
door
a
and just
vine-ripe tomato.
comes in, and he's just like, excellent. Is Mr. Coltan Bonez joining us?
We sent him on an errand. Well, he's off on a personal reconnaissance.
That's too bad. I was looking forward to having some more FaceTime with him. He gives you a smile that indicates that you probably did a really good idea sending him away. It's like a lopsided, creepy smile.
Yeah, that's all right.
So, you scouted. It was pretty fast. Kind of faster than I expected, Wolfgang. What do you have for me?
Well, take a seat and we'll get started. Basically, we have a couple options for increasing our intel as to where this gentleman will be. However, we believe that he will be participating in an upcoming conference that they are hosting just outside of their regional base. It is our understanding that this would probably be the best time to grab him because he will be outside of the most important security region. However, there's a lot of information we don't have regarding about this security detail you have for us that we wanted to inquire about.
Okay. He pulls out a cigarette and starts smoking it in front of you and says, okay. Yeah. All right, I'll tell you what I have here for you if you want it. It seems like you have some interesting plans, and I don't want to stop you from that. What I have are 4 uniforms of low-ranking Medtech guards. I have a deep cover operative inside the Medtech organization who will eliminate the 4 people these uniforms ostensibly belong to and make sure that your names and faces are written over theirs. That will probably buy you 6 hours of operation time until it's noticed. I've got 3 Medtech tasers, and 1 is for a operations trooper, so he'll get a Medtech Ronin light assault rifle.
Now, regarding the target, was there anything additional that we needed to acquire with him? Personal
We aren't
belongings,
sure.
that sort of stuff.
So our initial approach was going to be to have you approach him and entice him to join Arasaka via money, but you seem to be in a bit of a snatch and grab mood. So maybe if you, and he looks at Bishop and says, maybe if your man here is good at the interrogation, maybe figure out if he has anything at his laboratory he needs to bring with him to complete his good work.
You say
Sorry,
laboratory.
Interrogation is based on cool, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep, cool. Oh, then I do have the skill too, so.
So are you good at it?
Well, I'm 10 before I roll the dice.
Okay, yeah, so you're okay. So, yeah, like, he's looking at you and assuming you're good at it, given your general demeanor. But apparently you actually are good at it. So,
Do
not
you happen
great,
to know?
but you're good.
Do you happen to know where he sleeps at night? Does he sleep in a room given to him by?
We're not entirely sure.
Okay. And this laboratory, you know its location? Is it inside the heavily guarded fortress?
It is inside of the underwater tunnels.
6 hours might not be enough time to get all that information.
Well,
That's interesting.
we need him more than we need his work. Of course, it would be better if we had everything we needed to get him up to optimal specification working for us. But denying the use of him is almost as important as him.
Okay.
Arasaka must be able to crush Medtech in the upcoming water wars.
Okay. I think our best bet would then be to take the cover that you would have for us. The snatch and grab outside of the bunker might work, but he is listed as a VIP guest of honor, which potentially might make it very difficult to interrogate to him at this event at the same time. So
But it does mean that he'd be out in the city and probably under less guard than if we got him in the
Are you really
lab.
low, Glimo?
Am I?
no, he sounds fine to me.
Okay. So Arnav says, wait. What if our person on the inside gets you assigned to be his bodyguards for the event that you speak of?
That works out perfectly. We can take any opportunity that would give us the best opportunity to take him. And
I will speak
interrogate
with
him.
our agent and see if he can rewrite the system in your favor.
If it helps, I also have this, and I show him the forgery of the badge with
Coltan.
Coltan's.
He makes a sour face when he sees Coltan's face on it, and he says,
I
Well-
know he's not your favorite, but he is a doctor and will be able to slip in unnoticed and blend in, be able to talk the talk.
My concern is that Mr. Bones seems to be not only bad at communicating with people, but exceedingly petty and rude.
So, just like all the other doctors that are going to be there.
Fair enough point. As long as you believe that you can use them in your operations without compromising the group's cover, do whatever you need. I will have 3 or 4 uniforms delivered as you need.
I think flexibility gives us more options. We also found out that the the uniform and laundry is outsourced, and it's a local company is probably a generous word from the village that runs that. And they do 2 pickups daily.
Is this important for some reason?
Again, another infiltration angle.
You
Or
come to me when
ways
you
for us
have
to
a
go.
finished plan.
I like your ideas, but I figured, we can look at all angles that we have here.
Okay. I've given you more information. Oh, and our target, you should know, he's He's allergic to latex.
How bad of a allergic reaction does he have to this?
It's not clear, but he does not wear gloves when doing the experimentations that one normally would. He has to get alternatively sourced.
It's very interesting.
Not really, no. Dave's like, it's strange. It's Doctor Strange. Not really.
Oh, we're making our made up.
I love that scene, by the way. And it's like, what is your name? Strange. Perhaps.
Hey, I'm Peter. Oh, we're using
what is your name,
Mr. Doctor?
What is your name, Mr.
Strange.
Doctor?
That's not for me to say.
I love that. Oh, they wasted him. They wasted him as a once-off villain in the Marvel
There have been
universe.
several people who've reappeared as different people as the same character. Sorry, different characters, same actor. We could see Mads back again.
I hope so. He's a
It's
great
like
actor.
a lot of people wanted Natalie Dormer to do Captain Marvel originally, but she'd already appeared in as just a side character in the first Captain America film.
Natalie Dormer, wasn't she in Thor?
No, she was in Captain America, the first
Natalie
Avenger
Portman was
as
in Thor.
yeah.
You're thinking Queen Amidala.
Yeah, and Natalie Dormer was from Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
from Hunger Games.
Oh, really? She was the whorish blonde girl in Captain America. Yeah. I got
Yeah, that's
you.
it.
Yeah. Well, she was like the one that's just like, let me thank you for all women or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Okay. So he leaves you to come up with a final plan. Coltan,
I thought we had a plan.
it sounds like Pascal doesn't have a plan.
Well, so we're gonna get posted as the target's guard for Pharmacon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coltan may or may not be a guard with us, or he may
The
be
may or may
himself.
not thing is what worries Mr. Arnold Schmid.
Especially if he's got to kill people for us to take their identities. If he kills 4 people and 3 people turn up, that might be a problem.
Yes.
We're gonna need Coltan there because he's got the jabby's juice, which we need to knock this boy out. Right?
No one is arguing whether or not Coltan will be there. It is the capacity in which he arrives. You see, Dr. Coltan Bonez, OTech medical researcher from the Oceanological. Oh my god, somebody knows the word I'm trying to say.
Corporal Coltan Bonez,
Oceanographic.
military operative, and doctor.
Yeah, or is he Corporal Coltan Bonez as part of a security detail? Which one does he show up as? The tinker, the tailor, the soldier, the spy? Which one is Coltan Bonez? We never know.
Candlestick in the dining room.
He was a
Perhaps?
skater
Maybe.
boy,
It's
and he
not for me to
said,
say.
"See you later, boy."
I was the VIP the whole time.
You have to extract Coltan.
Now you
Remember
see
that
it.
game mode in Counter-Strike? VIP Rescue? Yeah. That was old school.
That was some of the best Nerf and Pinkum videos. Is where they do Mr. President scenarios.
But what do you think, guys? Is it better that all 4 of us be security guards, or do we want-
100%.
Okay.
That
I
way
could
we
show up-
can.
I could show up as security, and if needed, just
You've got
Whip out my
you've got
pass.
the badge if you need it.
Yes, it will be difficult to explain how a man in a Militech guard uniform is carrying an OTech researcher doctor's badge.
I'll just
but-
have a change of clothes.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, in your duffel, you've got to change of clothes and the badge in case it.
As
I
you
honestly
finish your
think- yeah.
As you finish your planning, you get a call to your personal cell phone, Wolfgang.
Okay.
It should be noted it's like 1 o'clock in the morning by the time you get done with your meetings.
It's Murderbot.
It's like, what?
absolutely
I'm like, oh, this is an important call. I got to take it. Hello.
You recognize the voice as the guard that you met on the first day who you bribed to tell you when bad stuff was happening. And he says, Sir, there are several gentlemen here who wish to meet with one of your companion and insist that they be allowed through immediately. However, given hotel policy and your generous donation, we are holding them here for the moment. Violence may
What do they
be
look like?
imminent. He swipes you a quick photo from his smart linked gun cam. They definitely look like they're Filipino mafia for sure. So when you got picked up by the Elcanos, they had a kind of very specific look to their SUVs. These SUVs are more like stretch limos and involve rims and spinners. There's a lot more gold and diamond encrusting, and security here is more professional and more subtle, but they all have the tattoos. Not the tribalistic tattoos of the Elcanos, but more of like a general mafioso tattoo, indicating, you know, like, I got this many kills in prison, or...
So Pascal's buddies then.
Not the Elcanos. Another group from the Filipino mafia.
No, wasn't that the arrangement? Like he was going to get picked up by the dudes.
That was the arrangement.
All right, so I flick this thing over to the marquee in Pascal's eyeballs.
Okay. Pascal, in the upper right-hand corner, you begin seeing a line of text because it's marquee. So,
Describing each pixel.
in your upper right-hand corner, you see a picture of gun cam footage of people who look like they're very, very serious.
And a man, obviously machine AI, just saying "dame dame."
I believe that's for me.
What's the plan then? Are we expecting you to go on your own? What's
You need
what's
support,
happening?
yeah.
I don't want to jeopardize you or the mission. This should be. Well, let's put it this way: if I end up needing support, I think the three of you won't be enough.
So the guy is still on the phone with you, and he says, sir, well, I'm still here. I can hear everything you're saying. What do you want me to do with these people?
Tell them to calm the fuck down and sit in the front porch like any other guest.
I will phrase it somewhat more diplomatically than that. But as he's hanging up, you hear him say, I'm going to need you to calm the fuck down, sir.
This is supposed to be a nice, peaceful meeting with the boss. If the guys who brought us in decide to force the issue and cause trouble, I don't think that you'll be able to help me, to be perfectly honest.
So, okay, there is something I can do that won't blow your cover. I can follow you from a distance with a rifle and give you Overwatch if you want.
Pascal, your phone rings.
Sure. I answer it.
Okay. It's Ferdinand, the leader of the Elcanos. He says, I heard that your meeting with the boss is happening now.
Is it? I haven't been notified yet.
Look, we're on our way to you, okay? Talk to them, slow them down. We'll be there in like 20, 30 minutes. Just say that we're part of your organization, okay? We're part of your gang back in Redline City.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. You hear like the squeal of tires. Somebody goes, man, this is just like that movie with Vin Diesel. As the phone hangs up.
I'm gonna get the hell out of here before these guys show up. If you and Bishop want to give me Overwatch, I would certainly take it, but I don't want to put you in unnecessary danger.
Look, take Bishop with you, and I'll follow from behind. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
Yeah?
In my mind, all I'm gonna do is go and pay my respects to the boss. give myself a good name for myself and my father back home, I don't want to get involved in this whole local thing.
Okay, so Bishop, what rifles do you have with you right now?
Right now, I brought along not my usual one. It's a an AKR-20.
Well, to fit in with the locals for sure.
Yep.
Okay.
A little big, right? It's not exactly like you can hide it under a jacket.
I mean, I've got an Armalite 44 hidden under my jacket if need be as well.
All right.
Okay, so why don't you give that to me and I'll follow from a distance.
The rifle?
Yeah.
Okay, it's loaded with HP.
Yep. So I will do. How far are you going to travel? Do you think? Like, how far is the destination from here?
You have no idea.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm guessing it's in the really nice part of town, so probably not. I mean, Manila itself isn't that big. Can't be more than 10 miles.
All right. Arthur, I have these legs. Can they help me get to places quicker? I don't remember. I know they can help me jump.
They can help you jump
really
for
high.
sure. If you are a parkour expert, the answer is probably. Other than that, I don't know that they allow you to run faster.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
They do allow you to do things like jump over walls, though, which is one of the prime ways people get slowed down when they're following things.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Exploding
like maybe
barrels, guys popping out of alleyways with guns. These are other ways to slow you down. Puzzles.
So what I'm asking, I guess, is can I do roof running to keep up with cars?
Oh my goodness, I would love to see this roll. I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is if you roll well enough, yes.
Let's do it. I'm into it.
Okay, Bishop, you're getting in the car as his bodyguard muscle.
Yes.
All right. So you guys get down there. It looks like it's moments
Coltan,
away.
if you want to come with us, I mean, I don't want to like have you be the only guy left out. If you want to come, you're my bodyguard. You're my other bodyguard. If you don't,
Well, like
then...
I would have shown up. I'll tell you what I left back in Heinz's room if you want, but
you made a plan.
Please tell us.
nothing crazy. It's a well done steak with a Heinz ketchup bottle and a bucket of ice and a little note that says "Well played."
Okay.
Oh, that's adorable.
In a bucket of ice?
Yeah, like a champagne bottle.
Yeah, I know. I understood the reference. It's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
You could probably eat a well done steak when it's cold. You know, just saying.
I thought you were saying that the ketchup bottle.
The ketchup bottle is what's in that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a plate with a cold, well done steak and a iced bottle of Heinz.
Yep. Okay. What are you coming with Pascal on his?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So just know that they are not letting you in without. It's not like they're patting you down, but if you have a gun that cannot be concealed, they're not letting you bring it.
Well, the only gun I have is the Finrail, so.
Okay. Yeah. They just keep pointing to the guard and saying something to Pascal that's like, he can't bring that.
You're gonna have to leave the street sweeper.
All right, I'll leave it with.
Okay, so there's a corporate security guy there, and he looks at your gun, and he's got like 4 pistols on him, and he like using your body to block them. He says, "I'll take good care of this, sir. If you return this to me," and he hands you like a Federated Arms Avenger. Sorry, a Federated Arms X-22.
Sure.
Okay, don't tell anyone I did this. I could be fired.
I don't even know your name. How would I tell?
Let the guy who's paying for this operation know that I did this. It's always good to keep the boss happy. So yeah, then he like very visibly takes your gun from you and is like, "Yep, I'll take good care of this, sir. Wink, you're totally unarmed now."
Oh my goodness, what will I ever do? I feel naked. I feel naked without my gun.
Pascal, your intention is to be out of here before the Elcanos arrive?
Yes.
Okay, you're out of here before the Elcanos arrive. You're in the back seat of a car. It's subtle, but there's like a Sov oil insignia on the floor. The car appears to be a Sov oil vehicle to begin with, and there are several bottles of premium vodka that, you know, aren't made by Sov oil directly, but have a little Sov oil symbol on the back of them. So if you know what you're looking at, you know it's made by them. One of the tough meats in the back is just like, would you like a drink, sir?
No, I should stay sharp to meet with the boss.
Did you bring a gift?
Yes,
I know what you brought, but he's
yes.
Good. So, he says something in Tagalog to the rest of the guys, and they like relax a little bit. You get the feeling if your answer had been no, you would not have lived to make it to the meeting. The guys in the car are attempting to hold a conversation between themselves quietly that doesn't interrupt you, because you're an honored guest, but you do catch the words spicy devil chicken a couple times.
I have enhanced hearing.
Yep, I know. But
okay.
I'm not saying you can't hear them, but if you wanted to have a conversation with somebody else, they're trying not to disturb that. Yes, you understand what they're saying. They're talking about the betting on spicy double chicken and how things didn't go exactly as intended. And they thought that the fight was fixed. And, you know, the boss is really upset about it.
I kind of perk up and say, "Oh, were you? I was at that match. Were you there?"
They laugh. No, we weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
The organization was there.
Of course.
Things did not go as planned.
I see.
Yeah, they don't really say anything else, although one of them does say something about corporate lapdogs. Hacienderos tutas.
Very well.
All right, so Wolfgang, I would like you to make a 25 athletics roll to keep up with the cars as they travel 20 miles outside the city.
25. Okay, so if I put 5 points of luck in there, I got 20.
Okay.
Because I got a body of 10 and I got athletics of 5. So.
Oh my god, there's a possibility you could really do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah.
So Sonic the Hedgehog here is like, shoo, shoo, shoo. You're just watching me in the jungle. It's like a scene from Predator. We're just watching the jungle and we see trees shaking, and then something leaps out and soars in front of the camera, and then just keeps going. And
the crouching tiger, hidden dragon, wires from trees trick.
Yeah. You get there almost before they do, using a couple shortcuts when you figure out what direction they're going.
All right, so let me ask you this real quick. You said you had a FNL?
FNL, yeah.
Okay, so, and you said there was a Medtech Ronin light assault?
The Medtech Ronin light assaults haven't been given to you yet. They are going to be part of your Medtech guard uniforms.
Okay, because I have a Medtech Ronin light assault that I brought in the package.
Okay, well, then it's
had.
with you if you want to have it.
Okay, I would definitely have it because it's smart linked. So that would be the rifle that I'd bring with me in this instance. So, but if you'd like, I can also bring a rifle for Bishop, the one that he left me.
Strapped to your back as you move through the jungle, slicing with your feet.
In case he needs to, be rearmed.
I love the idea that there's like a steep hill, like almost like a climb that you'd have to go through, and instead of using pitons, you just use your foot knives.
Heel?
Yeah, to pull yourself up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the heel foot is actually there for climbing. Like that's
well, then it
essentially
does
what it's
exactly
for.
its job out here in the jungle.
So let's see
It's
here.
the
It
weirdest
says-
backwards Warframe Sekiro traversal sequence ever.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
We wipe.
Yeah, so it says the 6-foot-inch projectiles out of the heel of the foot, allowing the user to make deadly rear kicks, can be used for anchoring or climbing. So,
Pascal, we wipe to you meeting with the boss. Your bodyguards are asked to stay outside the room.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go with that?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
what? Just then you may
Yeah, then
shoot
you're
the
married.
bride.
You're now both married.
Is there any sort of like? Can you just before you go into this detail, like what sort of place are they going into, Arthur? Because I'm sort of outside trying to do Overwatch or whatever. So
It looks a lot like the compound from Narcos.
okay,
Except it's all made of teak wood instead of stone.
okay. I have about 400 meters effective range with this rifle.
Yeah,
So-
you can spot into the compound, but of course it's pretty large.
Okay. But if need be, I can identify where they are.
Yes.
Okay.
You're playing a mini game where as they move, you have to move. It's the Mass Effect to follow the kid in the air ducts in the Citadel mission.
I was gonna say it's the sniper rifle minigame from that Hitman.
I never
mobile
played
app
any of the
or whatever.
Hitman, but sure, it's that too.
Okay.
You have to press the contextual dialogue button every time you spot them so that they know it's safe to move forward.
Okay.
You're in the meeting, Pascal. You're alone. The boss looks old and fat, but mostly old. He's got dark skin, darker than Pascal, darker even than Coltan. Wrinkles, deep set wrinkles. He's smoking a cigar. He's got a bottle of brandy next to him with a glass, and he's pouring a glass for you. And he says, in pretty good English, "Sit down. I am Ferdinand Rimo Bira Cabrera, the head of the Filipino fraternity. The taglogs, you know of what I speak. And for all intents and purposes, I'm a minister of the government. I've heard a lot about you and your father in recent days. Why am I hearing so much about the two of you?"
Greetings, boss of bosses. Well, my other business brought me into town, and my father felt it was time that I stepped up in the business and took this opportunity to meet with you. Please allow me to present this gift that I brought for you, and I hand him the brain dance of
Yeah.
Tristan and Isabel.
He says, "Oh, so you are a man who does his homework. I do not have this yet, but I have heard it is a classic, very difficult to get one's hands on. Cannot be bought for money. So you're very good at your job, I see. That is a good skill to have.
I find things.
Do you now? My understanding was that you were in the drug business."
No, cybernetics primarily, but I locate things, I find secrets, industrial espionage sometimes. Whatever's needed, but
Edge runner?
when needed, of course.
Are you corporate?
No, independent.
Good. Tell me about the Elcano spyglass. What do you know about them?
They helped us to get through customs when we got here.
They've
but
approached you.
They did. We had some problems getting through customs and they made the problem go away. Past that, I don't really know that much about them.
So you aren't with them?
I'm not.
Can you show me your arms?
I
Take off your biker leathers.
Exactly. I take off the biker leathers, and I have the new fresh tattoos, but I specifically did not get the spyglass. They're as we said the last time, they're more traditional style, more like what my father has.
So this is a little troubling to him. He sits down. He's looking at you. He says, "The O'Connors are a problem for me. They are disruptive. I don't enforce a lot of order in my gang. I let people do what they need to. There isn't a need for things like codes or morals or operational objectives. As long as you're making money, keeping the gang up, you're good. But the Alcanos are a threat to us. One, I have yet to decide whether to reform like naughty children they are, or destroy. What do you think, Mr. Pascal Jaden? What do you think I should do, these wayward children?"
We say in my country, the street takes care of itself. I respect that your organization is into a little bit of everything. It's a similar way in my country. I think that it's served our organization well for my entire lifetime, and from what I understand from Maleko, his lifetime as well. I think large change is not necessary for something that's working.
He nods.
I'd say if they're earning you money, see what you can do to reform them. And if they're not worth the trouble, then, well, sometimes you have to put a rabid dog down.
How do I know if they're worth the trouble or not? What is the qualifications?
How much money do they bring to your organization? Is it worth the trouble?
You are a very materialistic man, Mr. Jaden. I like that about you. You keep your eye on what's important. I think perhaps you forget a little bit about political power, but money is very important.
Business is business. I'm not one for large-scale politics. I run my organization, but that's so far that's as large as it's been. If things change at some point, I would certainly like to know more. But at right now, I'm just a businessman, and that's how I organize things.
So he puts out the rest of his cigar in the remains of his brandy glass and says, "My people tell me you are moving up in the world. If you are, there's not many places left to go without playing the game within the fraternity. You want to remain neutral, and this is as far as you go, Mr. Pascal Jaden. Is this where your ambition ends? It's okay to say yes. There are many men who have stopped the level you are at. Men who did not wish to die at their rivals' hands. Men who are okay with being used as pawns on the board, now that you've made your way onto the board."
I will say that it's a world that's not familiar to me, but I'd be willing to learn.
This is how it works for the Tigres. You adapt. Pascal Jaden, I have a problem. I have a problem called the Elcanos. Will you solve it for me? Or are you just a pawn?
I don't know that I have the resources to solve this problem for you.
Very well. we're done here. Send my regards to your father.
Thank you for seeing me.
We will not meet again, Mr. Pascal Jaden.
Very well.
Okay. Anything else you want to do before you head back to your hotel?
No.
Okay.
I would suggest, Pascal, is if we can talk quietly somewhere before we leave.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I don't know how much I know whether they indicate they would just turn up here claiming to be part of his entourage, but there could be some of them coming here right now, claiming to work for you. In which case, alerting the people here to that fact might be worthwhile. Otherwise, they're going to think that you bailed out and left them to try and pull something.
That'd be rough because Pascal just assured the boss that he didn't know anything and wasn't a part of their organization.
Right. Yeah. No. I feel like. Well, I don't know how I would save myself from that. Honestly, like.
Okay.
You know.
Just wanted to give you options.
No.
They also only wanted in the door. You could just leave the door open for them.
No, I'm not. Pascal wants nothing to do with this.
Okay. So here's what happens. The three of you flow back into the car. It begins driving away back down the road it came. The screen cuts to black. We go through the credits. The ending theme plays, and then we get the post-credits scene, which is a man crouched at the top of a tree with a Medtech Ronin light assault rifle, smart gun scoped through the gun scope. He's looking around, it's zooming in, and he notices coming from the other direction towards your SUV, 3 Elcano SUVs. Men are hanging on the outsides with guns. Each of the cars looks like it's got 4 people on the outside, and given the weight of the vehicles, probably 4 people on the inside or more. They definitely look like they're upset. So the only person who knows that they're coming, because they're coming around a corner, is Dave, and that is where we're going to end the session to pick up next time with a mid-vehicle combat, arms gunning in the middle of the street, featuring sniper fire from Dave.
Hell yeah.
you just see like a muzzle flash and the tree like
Well, this isn't a crouching tiger hidden a dragon tree. Jesus.
No, I thought it was like heal daggers are in the side of a tree.
Arthur, I might also jump onto the top of a moving vehicle and use my legs to fucking stab
somebody in the head. Yeah, we'll talk about it next time. It is a bit of a distance to get to the road, but not impossible for you. Friends, I will post what XP I've got. Please take 5 floating experience points for this episode. You not only completed your plan, you managed to navigate politics without getting shot in the face yet.
I like the yet.
I mean, someone's going to get shot next time. You guys are using pistols against dudes with rifles.
Well, I've got some backup shit ready to go, so
you're going to need it.
Deal 2. I only get 2 street deal for 2 street deal rolls.
Yeah, you're really good at street deal.
Okay. That's fine.
Hey, look at my athletics, Arthur. You see that shit? That's a man who knows how to run.
Yeah, I gave you a lot of athletics there because it's going to be critical to the plot ongoing.
I might put some more points in athletics. How much? What do you need for it's to go from 5 to 6? It's like you need
50 points.
50 points.
Unless it's one of those special ones that needs more.
I don't think so.
If it's a base skill, then it's just current level of skill times 10. It's the next level.
I need 3 more XP to raise combat sense.
Yeah. What are you at now? 7?
Yeah.
I don't think I'll go much higher than 8 because
I need 5 more to raise Medtech, but I don't know
You
if
need,
I
like-
will because I don't really.
80 points. Well, I guess I'm halfway to 80. I'm at 40 floating XP right now, so it's like I could get there, but maybe.
Do you have
what was it,
to? Do you have to roll a thing to be able to buy a new skill?
No.
You could just do it with
buy it.
floating IP.
I am going
Yeah.
to spend my 6 IP in it and 14 more and raise my dodge.
Ooh,
Good
this
one.
is a man who doesn't want to get stabbed to death.
You could also get a hold off on that because you might be able to get more from it if you buy a martial arts.
Yeah, but I'd have to spend like
I don't know if
40
you,
to open up a
there are
martial
some
art.
cheaper martial arts that have dodging in it, for example,
Well, I've already got 2 ranks, so
of martial arts.
of dodge and evade.
What I'm saying is you'd get more from a martial arts. What? Hang on. What is that under? It's under like making attacks or something. Melee attack. Is that it?
This is definitely a thing that we can solve off stream.
I got 10 points in fast talk, so I took a base level. Got fast talk
Ooh,
1.
now he's a little bit better.
Hell yeah.
You know, Grimdarkjames outros.
Oh, okay. Just Glimo, just before we move on, so you can get judo at normal, which gives you dodge, throw, hold, escape, sweep, and grapple, for the same cost as you'd get dodge. And you can get boxing, which is strike, block, dodge.
All right,
and
we'll talk about it
wrestle.
off stream.
All right. I'm Grimdarkjames. You can find me here on Saturday for Rogue Trader. Back here next week for Cyberpunk, I believe. I need to double check because it's the last day of the month for me. Also the last day of the quarter, so a big day work-wise. We'll see how we go. Other than that, 5 minutes after Discord from time to time. I've learned today that my brand new car is going to be stuck behind that boat blocking the Suez Canal.
The motherfucking evergreen. Holy shit. There's like $100 million in shipping losses.
Yeah, it's like oil prices have gone up by 10% overnight.
Holy fuck. Man, is he like the only guy who's ever gotten stuck in the Suez Canal?
No, it's
It
apparently it
happens every,
happens
like,
from time to
3
time
years.
because of sandstorms. They can't see where they're navigating, but this is like one of the biggest ships, and it's pretty well wedged in there. So, yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, it adds 14 days to the journey to not go through the canal. So
That's the power of circumnavigation, guys. You know who is good at circumnavigation? Ferdinand Elcano, the first man to circumnavigate the globe. Got anything else, James?
no, that's it for me.
Uh,
You know, Grimdark Henley, what do you got?
They call me the darkest Henley in the Marvel timeline universe, so that's pretty good. I'm actually very surprised at how cool the legs for Wolfgang have ended up being. Like, I thought this character would be more like focused on guns and stuff, but it seems like the more I play Wolfgang, the more it's just like, yeah, nah, guns at home. Let's kick a dude in the neck. So
That's the Nero problem. Yeah.
so
And now,
you know,
now
it's-
you've established you can run as fast as a car, so just run as fast as a car, jump, and then nail someone with your heel knives.
yeah. So if I don't get my athletics to 6, I might get strength feat up to like 4, so I can do things like, you know, kick in an iron door or something like that instead. So that's fun.
Take a skill called I Am the One Who Knocks.
Arthur hasn't allowed any custom skills yet.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. That's because
maybe.
I didn't let any of you take human variant at level 1.
Oh, I see. Yeah. It's a good 3.5 reference.
Yeah.
Man,
What custom
3.5.
skill do you want?
Well, I mean, maybe like long distance running or something like that. But I
I feel
think
like
athletics
kind of covers that. Look, I'm not
Yeah.
opposed to people taking custom skills, just no one's asked me for one yet. I think.
A new custom skill called Zohan, where you can stand
up
flat-footed and then nail someone in the chin with your knife feet.
I mean, like, I have some pretty interesting abilities. Imagine being able to take like a 50 cal sniper rifle and hip fire it because I can plant myself in the ground with my foot heels. You know, like.
I'm not sure that there's any gun you would want to hip fire except like those shotguns that were made to be hip fired. I kind of feel like you generally want to aim guns. James, you're a gun person. What's your take on this?
I don't know. Have you played Valorant?
Depends how far you are away, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've certainly hip fired in the past.
Yeah, but
were you in a
know.
gunslinger competition in the 1800s?
No, but I was practicing shooting close range targets, like literally shooting from the hip as soon as the guns cleared the.
When you've cleared leather, James, you're telling me that you shot as soon as you cleared leather? What are you, a country song? We come to find out, Grimdarkjames is actually the Arizona Ranger.
Like, what's that?
We've had McCree playing with us all along.
There was that guy who could hip fire super quick.
I remember that. Yeah, was it British bodyguard? I think, wasn't he?
Very scary.
Yeah.
Pop tube.
Anyway, I meant to say before Arthur as well, when you're talking about turning your back on flashbangs, that I can speak from experience that turning your back on flashbangs isn't a very effective defense against flashbangs.
Because it's like all like your eardrums and shit like that, right? They get.
It's really effective in video games, James.
Yes. The audio impact is what has the physiological impact. I mean, obviously you get like the flare in your eyes, but certainly, the stunning side comes from the sound.
Also,
I've experienced the body like seizing up thing of that because I was a drummer and we used to play bar shows, and our drunk guitarist used to put his 500-watt Marshall right behind my head. Feedback from a 500-watt Marshall, I lost like the ability to do anything for a few seconds.
That's rough, buddy. That's what new police trucks use, is that subsonic shit that fucking makes people's nerves chill
Well, it's
out.
hypersonic, and they have it like direct. It's like the more direct one.
Yeah, scary shit. You know, speaking of people who know about that stuff, Drumurboy.
I'm Drumurboy. If you want to find out how much hearing loss you sustained, there's a test online that does a sine wave sweep, and you could hear it go from ear to ear and then drop out and show you the hearing loss you've sustained throughout your life.
Or how shitty your headphones are.
Yeah. So Drummer, as an audio person, I'm going to ask you, brown note, real or fake?
Fake.
I was gonna say he can't talk about it. He has to deny knowledge.
You can rip paper with strong enough bass, but you can't make someone shit themselves. Unless they were like already on the verge. Like there's a lot if there's like specific circumstances, maybe, but like
it's like scroting just pants, basically. It doesn't have shit in it. It both doesn't have shit in it and does have shit in it, depending on how close to the edge you were.
You got anything else, Drummer?
Follow me on Twitter and follow my Twitch, because I'll be doing more, not like super frequent streams, but I will be doing them more than never. So that's a thing. That's a thing that happens now. Got Glimo's thing probably going to be done tomorrow, and then after that, probably back on the SNES album that's been backburnered while I was doing work, and that'll be the next big thing that comes out from me. SNES stuff.
Using all 16 bits.
Yeah, man. I even got like a true bit emulation plugin of a company that like actually went through and like digitally modeled the entire thing to be bit accurate. And then whenever the heck Dave needs me for music stuff, then I'll be jumping on that whenever that will be.
Sounds of the cucumber.
Oh, I still need to render those and send them out.
I mean, we're getting pretty close to.
Okay, Glimo, just go.
I'm Glimo. I had fun tonight. Amazingly, none of us fumbled tonight. I think
That's true. It was a big switch from last episode.
Right? Yeah, we got them all out last time.
And we all did some pretty like yeah, these rolls need to pass sort of shit tonight as well too. So
yeah. Other than that, I'll be back here next week if we have a game next week, and
we'll check on James. We'll see you soon.
Solaris Nights at some point
in like 2 weeks, right?
My next match isn't scheduled yet, so
that's because I only schedule them after that week has finished.
Mm-hmm.
So the other people I scheduled this week, don't worry about it. That's how alternating weeks work.
When it happens, I'll be on it.
It'll fucking happen, Glimo. Calm down, Jesus. Got anything else?
Valheim. I've got a server up. We're doing some newbie stuff in it, doing a lot more building in it, going slow. If anyone's interested, hit the Valheim channel on Arthur's Discord. That's all I got.
Well, gang, here's to never growing up. And when you're gone, it's complicated. Don't tell me. Nobody's home. Never holding on. I'm with you.
Prime Gaming
was a list of Avril Lavigne songs, which, if my audience is into Avril Lavigne, which is what James suspects they are not, they will have recognized the secret code.